I'm going to walk you through a real certificate of sponsorship, every part of it, so you know exactly what to check when you get yours and how to spot a fake. A quick note before we start. I'm not a solicitor or immigration advisor. I'm just sharing my personal experience with getting a certificate of sponsorship for the UK, so take this as friendly guidance, not professional advice. I won't be showing you how to issue a CoS, since that's something only licensed sponsors can do. But if you've already received a certificate of sponsorship, or you're expecting one soon, this video will help you understand what each part means. And even if you're still in the early stages, this might give you a head start. I'll also share how I answered some of the questions linked to the CoS, based on my own experience. Here's what a real CoS looks like. The very first section you'll see asks for the tier and category of the visa. This particular CoS is for a student who completed their studies and applied for a skilled worker visa directly, without going through the graduate or PSW route. So in this case, the category selected is skilled worker visa, graduate switching from Tier 4/student route. Now, picking this option correctly is really important because it affects whether your sponsor has to pay the immigration skills charge. According to the UK government, if you're switching from a visa that allowed you to study, your employer may be exempt from that charge. But if the wrong category is selected and the system thinks the charge doesn't want to be paid when it needs to be paid, it could delay your visa. And I'm not talking about a day or two, it could be weeks or even a month. The Home Office might contact your sponsor to clarify, send a payment link, and go back and forth in emails. That delay can slow everything down until they figure out if the fee is needed. The next part is the Certificate of Sponsorship Status. This section is where you need to carefully verify the sponsor's details. Here's what to check. Sponsor license number sponsor. Name, certificate number, current certificate status, and status date. Date assigned to expiry date, used by. Whether sponsorship has been withdrawn. One of the most important steps is making sure the sponsor is licensed to issue CoS. You can double check this by searching their name on the Register of Licensed Sponsors. I'll put the link in the description. You can also use the WPC Sponsor License Checker to confirm whether the license is currently active. Just because a company had a license in the past doesn't mean it's still valid today. It could have been removed or expired. Also, take note of the sponsor license number. It's usually a 9-digit number. Make sure it matches exactly with the number shown on the official register. That step is crucial for confirming your CoS is genuine. Now we come to the personal information section. This part includes your key identity details, family name, given names, other names if applicable, nationality, place and country of birth, date of birth, gender, country of residence. These are your personal details, and it's absolutely essential to make sure everything here is accurate. Even small mistakes, like a misspelled name or the wrong birth date, can cause delays or even rejection during your visa application. So go through each line carefully and confirm that all the information matches your passport exactly. Next is the passport or travel document section. This includes passport number, issue year, date, expiry date, place of issue. Again, double check that these details match your actual passport. Your visa application will be cross-checked against this info, so any mismatch, even a wrong digit, can delay the process or flag your application for review. Make sure your passport is valid for the duration of your visa and that it won't expire anytime soon after your planned arrival in the UK. Moving on, we have the current home address section. It includes full address, city or town, county, district or province, postcode, country. This should be your most recent and accurate residential address. Make sure it's up to date, especially if you've moved recently. Any discrepancy between this and the address in your visa application or supporting documents can raise questions or slow things down. Next is the identification number section. It may include UK ID card number, UK national insurance number, national ID card number, employee number. In my case, I only had a UK national insurance number, so that's the only field I filled in. Not all of these will apply to everyone, so don't worry if some sections are left blank. Just make sure that any number you do include, especially your NI number, is correct, as it links to your tax and work records in the UK. Now we're at the work date section. This includes start date, end date. In my case, the start date listed was set for when my visa needed to be issued, even though I was already working with the sponsor. There's also a question: does the migrant need to leave and re-enter the UK during the period of approval? In my COS, the answer was no, since I was switching visas from inside the UK. Finally, check the total weekly hours of work. This is super important, because your salary must meet the minimum requirement based on how many hours you work each week. So make sure this matches what's in your contract and your SOC code requirements. Next is the main work address in the United Kingdom, and this section is mandatory for your COS assignment. You'll need to make sure your sponsor has entered the correct work location, which includes full address city or town district or province postcode. This should be the actual location where you'll be working most of the time. If your job is remote or you work at multiple sites, your sponsor should provide the primary location. Always double check that this address matches your employment contract or job offer. It's another way to confirm the legitimacy of your COS. There's also a section called Other Regular Work Addresses in the United Kingdom. This section isn't mandatory, but it's where your sponsor can list any additional places you might regularly work, aside from your main location. For example, if your job requires you to travel between different branches or sites, they can include those here. If your work is based in just one place, this section will likely be left blank, and that's completely fine. This next section is absolutely crucial: migrants' employment details. Let's break it down. Job title, occupation code, job type. Summary of job description. This part has to accurately match your job's official SOC code. The Home Office checks if your job title, duties, and salary are all aligned with that code. If anything doesn't match, your application could be delayed or even rejected. Next, there's the New Entrant field. If you're applying as a new entrant, meaning you're early in your career or recently graduated, this must be marked yes to qualify for the lower salary threshold. Then your gross salary is listed. This should meet or exceed the minimum required for your job code and weekly hours. You'll also see a tick confirming the job is at the right skill level, and another to certify whether your sponsor is covering your maintenance. In my case, that box was marked no, meaning I needed to show financial proof myself. Finally, the form will note if your role needs an ATAS certificate. You can check this on the government website. The next section is migrants' employment, pay. Pay reference supplied. In my COS, this was marked as yes. Pay reference number. This is your employer's pay-as-you-earn reference, which links your employment and tax records to HMRC. It's another way the Home Office verifies your job is legitimate and properly set up for tax and salary compliance in the UK. The final part of this section is migrants' employment. PhD. The question is a PhD level qualification required for this post? In my case, the answer was no. This is mostly relevant for academic or research-based roles. If your job does require a PhD, it should be marked accordingly, because it can affect your eligibility, points, and even salary thresholds under the skilled worker route. Now let's talk about the payment side of the certificate of sponsorship. When a COS is assigned, your sponsor has to pay a fee. The amount depends on the type of license they hold. Here's the breakdown. On top of that, most sponsors must also pay the immigration skills charge, unless the worker is exempt. This fee is calculated based on two things: the size of the organisation, how long you'll be working for them, based on the start and end dates on your COS. Here's what that looks like. These fees are paid by your employer, but mistakes in this step, like forgetting to pay the immigration skills charge, can cause serious delays in visa processing. Sometimes it can take months just to resolve it. Now, if your visa is unfortunately refused, you do have options. You can request what's called an administrative review. That's basically asking the Home Office to reassess their decision. You'll need to apply within 28 days of getting your refusal notice, and it costs £80. Just be aware it's a slow process. Right now, decisions on administrative reviews can take 12 months or even more. I experienced delays myself even though I applied through the priority visa route. So once the standard waiting time had passed, I emailed ISCAdminTeam at homeoffice.gov.uk to request an update. I hope this breakdown of the COS helps you understand what to check, what to look out for, and how to avoid unnecessary delays in your visa journey. If you found this video helpful, drop a like and feel free to leave your questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer from my experience. And if you're planning to apply soon or already in the middle of the process, good luck, you've got this.